From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Kruger, hoping you have a good start to your work week here. It's Tuesday, but boy, it felt a little wet for some of us yesterday, and others not so wet. You take a look at some of these rainfall totals, you'll see what I'm talking about. It kind of felt like through a good period of the day in Redding, like it was just kind of that steady, light rainfall. That did add up to about 3/800ths of an inch of rain, a lot more out along the coast, over an inch in Crescent City, over a half an inch in Eureka, over 3/4 of an inch in Hoopa. So this is where we saw most of the rain. There's another little patch to the east of Chico, around Quincy, 5,900, Susanville, 1,500s, and 0.08 in Alturas. So we're going to tack on a little bit more to some of these numbers here for today, but really not by much at all. All right, let's go and take a look at Kruger's Quickcast here for your Tuesday, November 26th. This is going to be a quick look at your forecast for the day so you can head out the door and know what to expect. And speaking of heading out the door, that's what it's looking like. Yeah, a few showers out there for some of us, but it's not going to be a big deal. North Coast, maybe parts of Modoc County, seeing some of those snow flurries out there. There are a little bit of chain requirements out there out on Highway 97, Highway 139 near Highway 299, and we also have some chain requirements this morning on Cedar Pass here east of Alturas. We also have on Highway 44 near the North Park entrance there. That's really about it. As you head to the south towards Tahoe, a lot of chain requirements, so they've been dealing with more snow over there here overnight. But bottom line is this, I mean, it depends on when you're watching this. This is all going to change here. So if you are traveling anywhere east of I-5 in particular, just note that you should probably check those chain requirements before heading out. By the way, I hate to bring up a term because it was all we talked about last week, but that atmospheric river is still impacting Southern California. That's central and Southern California. That's where we're seeing most of the rain right now. That's all that snow that you're seeing there in the Sierra. So we're to the south of that. And really what we've had, and we will have again today, if you look closely, there's a little bit of a spin. That's what's going to help to continue to bring in some of that cool and unstable air here for today. But as that moves on out, we're going to dry things out. Let's take a look at Futurecast. As we take you into the noon hour today, most of the activity is off to the east, and even this isn't all that significant. You look at the valley, we're starting to clear things out, a few snow flurries here and there. Then we go through the afternoon, you can see a little weak disturbance maybe trying to pass to the north and east of Redding. But by 5 p.m., a few snow flurries off to the east, but that's it. Once we get into 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, it's all done with. All right, so here's what we have in store for us today. We're looking at, we'll call it partly cloudy because there is going to be some clearing this afternoon in the valley with mid-50s. There is going to be a continued chance for some snow flurries for the day today in the east. Up towards Siskiyou County, probably even through the early afternoon hours, there could be a stray flurry there as well and a stray shower, but nothing significant, very few and far between. But I'm expecting dry conditions by midday for Trinity County westward and, of course, the valley, as I mentioned here as well. But even in anything we do see, as I mentioned, is not going to be all that significant. Looking at your 7-day outlook for the valley, yeah, we're talking clear skies. Temperature is getting warmer too. Should be back in the low 60s by the end of the week and through the weekend. For the coast, inland, and for Trinity County, same situation. Just some morning showers, that's it. But through the afternoon, we could still see some chances in Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville. But it does dry out by tonight and through tomorrow. All right, that's a look at your Quickcast. For those of you that have to hit the road today, well, here's what you can expect as you're heading northward. There may be some patchy fog this morning as you're heading north. In some of those mountain valleys, sometimes you can get some of that fog out there. But otherwise, you've got the overcast skies that we do have off to the north and east, and not to mention some of those colder temperatures. Now, we're going to take you into your your Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Again, maybe some of that early morning fog. Otherwise, we'll call it partly cloudy skies to the north. And as you're heading south out towards places like Sacramento and San Francisco, you'll be looking at dry conditions and mainly clear skies as well. Let's take a look at your travel forecast now for your Thanksgiving Day. Again, maybe some of that patchy morning fog, but otherwise you should be looking at mainly dry conditions here off to the north. All right, let's take you to the south now. And this is what it looks like here. For today, You've got the clouds. You've got that rain, too. There's going to be some rain heading down I-5 here towards Fresno and Bakersfield. But it looks like Los Angeles, San Diego, things are going to be a little bit drier out there. So again, that atmospheric river I was talking about is kind of aimed right here. Not as bad down to the south. But you can see here for your Wednesday, maybe some of that morning fog in some areas here with temperatures in the upper 50s, although right around 75 for Palm Springs. Maybe you're heading out to Thanksgiving there. Wouldn't it be nice? All right, let's take a look at your Thursday forecast. And again, you can see some of that early morning fog. It's cold off to the east, by the way. If you're heading to parts of Nevada, should be pretty cold out there. Hey, if you're taking to the skies this morning, let's show you what it looks like. Looks like all is clear. There is some snow, as you can see here. This may create a few problems out towards Denver later on today. In fact, we take a look at the winter storm impacts for today, and you can see we're kind of getting in that moderate to major category here. So looks like that's just west of Denver. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. You might, of course, just be prepared for the fact that there may be delays out in this region here. Even into tomorrow, there are going to be some minor to moderate impacts with that snow here for your Wednesday. Taking you into your Thursday, it looks like conditions are really improving for Thanksgiving Day and most likely as we take you through the day on Friday as well. All right, let's get back to your local forecast, and here's your weather headlines. One last day of unsettled weather here. Smooth sailing, though, for the rest of the week with improving travel conditions and dry and warmer is what we're looking at here for the rest of the week and this weekend. Worth noting that by tonight into tomorrow morning, there is a freeze watch here for the North Coast here. That is going to be basically temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s for those overnight lows. So bring in those sensitive plants, cover them if you can. If you can't bring them inside, and your pets, make sure they've got somewhere warm to sleep tonight. Again, we're talking about that atmospheric river producing that rain off towards central California, the snow in the mountains. Of course, I was talking about that travel. You'll be dealing with the wet weather here, but not so much down to the south towards Los Angeles or San Diego. So looking at your future cast here, again, we can see some of the snow flurries we have until midday today. Now in Siskiyou County, even through the afternoon, you'll see a few pop-ups here and there, but dry for the valley, dry to the west of that as well. By 5 p.m., it's done with. Again, just a few snow flurries off to the east. Later on tonight, tomorrow morning, you're dry. And then going into Wednesday afternoon, you're dry. And guess what? It'll be dry for your Thanksgiving Day as well. Looks like gorgeous weather. Even for the coast, you're going to be looking at plenty of sunshine. Now, we're not going to tack on a whole lot of rain on top of what we saw the last 24 hours. But yeah, we're talking about a few hundredths here and there. That's the extent of it. Looking at the winter storm warning for the areas east of the valley, it still is showing until 4 a.m. on Wednesday. Honestly, I think it should and will most likely expire before then. As you can see here, the Reno National Weather Service office decided to go ahead and let that expire at 10 o'clock this morning for mainly elevations above 6,000 feet. Bottom line is this. Even for Modoc County, I would say all of these areas, even down to the south going into Tahoe, if you're traveling today, be aware that there may be some chain requirements. With snow flurries in the area, that can create some brief periods of light to even moderate snowfall, like you can see here in the Warner Mountains, and it can create problems when it comes to snow on those mountain highways. So just be aware of that. Hey, this is fun. Taking a look again at how much snow we're going to see at the ski park, well, doesn't look like there's going to be much, if any. But the good news is they announced yesterday that the Mount Shasta Ski Park will open December 11th. All right, I got to start thinking about getting my skis all ready to go. My son's got to get his snowboard ready to go before he starts the alpine season at school, and just get him ready to go. So yes, now it's time to dust off your snow gear and get ready for that ski and snowboard season. Hey, take a look at some of the chain requirements we have this morning. Keep in mind, these will change by the time you're watching this, most likely. Highway 97 out towards Highway 139, Cedar Pass. Some of the usual spots here on Highway 44, looks like near the North Park entrance. And then to the south, as you go into Tahoe, there are going to be some chain requirements there as well. Taking a look at the forecast road conditions here through the rest of the day today. There you can see I-5, Highway 89, Highway 3 on Scott Mountain looks all clear, but look at that, Cedar Pass on Highway 139. You can see, again, some of those usual spots here through the afternoon and even into tomorrow morning. Now, even though the rain and snow will be gone, As we clear things out, it will be cold, so there could still be some patchy ice spots. There could be some patchy snow spots on some of these mountain highways, so there may still be some chain requirements tomorrow morning for some of those areas. Otherwise, you can see here, looking at the long range, we're just not going to stop it at any time, because what you'll see here, this area of low pressure just spinning here, all of these storm systems over the Pacific, riding up and over the ridge of high pressure. That will be the dominant feature. That's going to keep us drier than normal, most likely through early December, and even warmer than normal. But I mean, when we say warmer than normal, the normal high for the valley is about 60. We'll just be about a couple of degrees above that here as we look at that long range trend here. But the wave heights are expected to drop here for today, with a slight increase going into your Wednesday, but nothing to be concerned about. Your marine forecast, south winds today at about 5 knots. I did put the showers in there. That's mainly going to be for the morning. By the afternoon, most likely even looking at dry conditions there as well. Your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, upper 40s to around 50 for that daytime high. 48 degrees for Trinity Center, Ruth about 46. And as we take you out to the North Coast neighborhood forecast, it's dry after today, and really dry after this afternoon, quite honestly. 52 degrees for Rio Dell, 55 degrees for Gas Key, and there's Orleans with a high of about 53. Take you south, Willow Creek 54, as well as Hoopa. That's also the case for McKinleyville. Let's take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Out in Scott Valley, Fort Jones and Etna around 44. 49 degrees for Happy Camp and Weed, about 41 degrees. And for your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, looks like temperatures, we'll call it around 40, give or take. Upper 30s, maybe around 41 for some of the warmer spots. 39 degrees for a high today in Chester, as well as Mineral. 37 for Viola, and there's Shingletown at 3,500 feet there, about 45 degrees. And Paradise, 49. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by our friends at Walgamuth Painting. Your temperatures in the mid-50s. 56 degrees for Corning, 55 for Elk Creek, and 56 degrees for Biggs. We'll take you up north, 55 out in Redding, 51 for Whiskeytown, and 56 degrees in Red Bluff. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. And yes, I have the turkey on the right day now, not Wednesday. In fact, I didn't have to change it this morning because it was already set to this day, the third day here. But Thanksgiving Day, high of 58, right around 61 for your Friday. We'll keep it in the low 60s here for the weekend and early next week. That's your morning update. I'll be back again this afternoon with the latest. Have yourselves a great morning.